All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makar and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son Bahashem, and the names of Hamashiach Shai. Those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one national tongue. And I say Barak down to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the M.O.T.B news updates as of June the 28th, 2025 on Saturday. And this is from generated from the AI overview, as we've been seeing the more recently stable coin being promoted, being pushed forth. The Genius Act bill was signed into law, I would say last week, 2 weeks ago. That's why we're seeing more stable coin or cryptocurrency in the other countries leaning towards, the central digital bank currency, because you have the United States, they signed a law to have an anti-central digital bank currency, while they're promoting and passing the bill of the Genius Act to have the stable coin as their form of currency, the adoption of it, the Bitcoin, stable coin, and the cryptocurrency. As I had a side note to that. And we've been seeing more and more pushing with these collaborations with these countries with this cross-border payments, offline and online and offline. So we're seeing more signs of that. And we're seeing the 130 plus countries leaning towards the full adoptions of the central digital currency. Sometimes they have a little delay. That's why we've been seeing the CBDC plot, CBDC trial, CBDC test as well too, which is the central digital currency. And the latest one been definitely a very security concern as well too. That's why you've been seeing momentary delays in trial runs and tests before they final decision to roll out to implement the central digital currency. And that's going to be part of the RFID CHIP of the M.O.T.B is going to be part of that as well too, as I have said to them. Especially with this digital especially with this digital currency and with this artificial intelligence going to be part of digital currency as well too, especially from an economical transaction sense. It says an AI overview. It says here is a summary of recent regarding of the central bank digital currency. It says growing developments. It says growing developments over 130 plus countries representing 98% of global GDP are exploring the CBDC at 66 in advanced stage, a development plot or launch. The digital yuan, the Chinese ENCY, is the largest central digital currency plot project, with a transaction reaching 7 trillion won and 986 billion as of June 2024, which is last year. It says nearly 4 times the previous year totals. China plans to expand its international reach with new operations and centers in Shanghai. It says the European Union's digital ruby. It says, because there's been more pressure of them to push more and more of the European central banks in the digital euro. Last time I checked a news article, I would say 2 days ago, it says the European Union of the EU and digital ruby. The European Central Bank, the ECB, is working on a digital euro with a preparation phase ongoing. However, progress has been slow due to the skepticism for some of the lawmakers and bankers. It says Russia's digital ruby. Russia has delayed the initially rollout of its digital ruby, right? Because I believe they're gonna roll it out till 2026. Because it was I believe at first it was initially going to be released in July, but they have pushed it back for another year in 2026. It says the Russian digital ruby. Russia has delayed the initial rollout of the digital ruby due to the pushback from banks and retailers. Just because he wanted to apologize to everybody that he had wrong. I guess he was just reflecting on a lot of stuff. But every person I've written. Right, so those are the latest news of that. I don't know. Yep, it says Russia's ruby date for delayed digital ruby for the CBDC rollout. Yep, it says Russian central bank pushes for the central digital currency launch in 2026. It says European Central Bank announces plans to launch the central digital bank currency by October 2025. And this is a news article from the 99bitcoin.com. And it says plan to launch CBDC by October 2025. Yep, your central bank announced plans to launch the central digital bank currency by October 2025. It says the European Bank ECB has officially announced plans to roll out the central bank digital currency of the CBDC. The digital euro will be a reality by October 2025. Pierre Gramigna, if I pronounce his name right, director of the European Stability Mechanism, ESN, and said that President Donald Trump recently endorsed a cryptocurrency could present financial difficulties for the European Union. The EU, furthermore, Gramigna expressed concern about the U.S. promoting stablecoin. According to the March 10, 2025 Reuters report, it says that European lawmakers are voicing fresh doubt of the ECB's digital euro project after an outage in the ECB existing payment system caused delays for thousands of hundred households and traders. It says breaking. It says this is from the Crypto Rover published on X. It says breaking. It says the European Central Bank plans to launch a central digital bank currency by October 2025. It says urging to the CBDC or digital euro project. If this were to be successful, it could affect the euro area's monetary sovereignty and the financial stability, says Gramigna. This digital euro is today's more necessary ever. These statements were issued during a Euro Group press conference. Meanwhile, taking about the outage in the ECB payments, which is the European Central Bank payment systems, and question the digital euro. Marquas Ferber of the European People's Party says this instance is a blow to the ECB credibility. People will ask legitimate questions how the ECB will be able to run digital euro when they cannot even keep their day-to-day operations running smoothly. Last month, the ECB said that it is ready to launch the preparation phase for the digital euro. The ECB executive board member of Pierre Chepelion, if I pronounced that right, and it says that it says has said that Trump's support for global available stablecoins tied to the dollar will help create another U.S.-made payment tool and adding the urgency to the digital euro project. It says furthermore, Chepelion said that the spread of the U.S. stablecoin as means of a payment will worrisome because it threatens to divert deposits away from European banks. It says that if people in Europe start to use stablecoins to pay, given the most of them are American and dollar based, they will be transferred to their deposits from Europe to the US, he says. Is the EU going to war with crypto? An ongoing EU crypto investigation of the OKS for allegedly laundering $100 million from the buyback hack in February 2025 has been. The European bloc threatens to remove the OKX MICA license. So those are the latest news of the M.O.T.B. And this is the book of Revelations. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 13 and verse 16. Right, so we're seeing the more and more pushing of stable coin and cryptocurrency from the United States, and then you have the European Central Bank. They're going to make their launch of the Central Digital Currency of October of 2025, and this potentially might have a competition between the United States and the European Central Banks. Especially with the more and more of this Bitcoin, stablecoin, and digital currency, so they definitely going to be in competition with one another. That's going to implement cross-border payments online and offline. That's going to implement the RFID, CHIP, and the M.O.T.B revelations, because the paper dollars definitely going to be a thing of the past. As much as they try to hold on to it, but it's definitely going to be the thing of the past. As we mentioned countless of times, we're living in a modern day digital society as it is already. Revelations 13, verse 16, it says, "And it calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their FOREHEADS, right? So the pushing of the RFID CHIP that they want to insert in the upper part of your body, right part of your body." Revelations 13, verse 17. It says that no man might by himself say that he has the charagma, or the name of the BEST, or the number his name, right? So the pushing of the MARK, or the BE, or the name of the BEST, or the number his name, which that's going to be promoted. So in order for you to buy or sell, to do transactions, you definitely got to have the RFID CHIP. Revelations 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him have understanding. Count the number of the BEST, for it is a numbering man, and his number is SIX 303 score SIX. Now I want to bring up that news article from RFK, because I believe the brothers, they was doing some lessons on it, and I kind of seen that they brought that news article out, and they did sit down lessons on it.
Where did the money for that? My wife and I took out a loan. We're still paying for it. After 15 months and 7 days, the card said, "Stay, you're lucky to get back up." Madison was out, but far from free. Now he was prepping for a murder trial with the help of his twin uncles. His uncle Mike discovered information critical to Madison's defense, and he went through Madison's dad's autopsy.
Yep, this is the news article, yep. And this is going to implement the RFID, yep, M.O.T.B. Yep, this is a news article from the New York Post.
Was pretty much everybody in your family aware about what it was? Something nobody wanted to talk about.
Yep, it says from New York Post, published by Shane Gavin, published June the 25th, 2020. Yep, it says published June 25th, 2025 at 12:44 a.m. Because this was published about 3 days ago, because today is the 28th. It says RFK wants every American to use wearable health data collections technology. And that makes perfect sense too. You had, I believe, the company Apple, they mentioned this last month, that they're going to have this brain implant chip that they're going to use, I believe, to make purchases for your everyday consumer, to make it more, to make it more convenient. I believe they're going to roll that out in end of this year. As I had a side note to that, it says the Health and Human Service Secretary Robert Kennedy wants all Americans to use wearable technologies to track their health as part of his MAHA agenda. It says the Kennedy clan strongman revealed his agency plan. His agency planned Tuesday for a massive push for Americans who have obesity rate up 40% to use wearable data collections technology with such Fitbits and Oura Rings and Apple Watches to promote healthier lifestyles. We are about to launch the biggest advertising campaign in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearable, Kennedy said in a House Committee on Energy and Commerce hearing on Tuesday.